And
Yes.
I wish this session is really going to be productive to all our teachers, because the topic of discussion for today, or interaction, is the most sensitive thing, and we teachers, we really need it at this point of time, because we have been seeing many different types of students, and at times we really have a dilemma. We ourselves are in a dilemma how to tackle to these problems and all. So you are a solution today. You are going to show us a solution. So that's really great of you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I hope that I'm able to provide a solution. This session is going to be an interactive session. Okay, so we'll keep it on interaction. Just feel free to speak what you have to. So now I'll just directly get into the things, because there are quite a lot of things which we need to discuss in this small span of 1 hour.
Yes,
just
ma'am.
a second and I'll start off. I've already put this on recording. So I'll just brief you with the session objectives. By the end of today's session, we'll be able to, first of all, the objective is to analyze the why and how of developing positive relationship with students. This is something which we are going to do right in the beginning. Then we'll also try and understand what is the difference between a fixed mindset and growth mindset. That's very, very important for us as teachers to understand what is fixed mindset, what is growth mindset, and why is it important for us to know about these mindsets. And the third thing we will try to see that how is it that we can identify what is the importance of praise and what's the right kind of praise which can be used inside our class. So these are the small 3 objectives that I've kept for today. And we've got ground rules. The ground rules are that you have to keep yourself muted throughout the session. That's one very important thing. And whenever you have to ask a question or you want to contribute, because I'm going to be keeping this session very interactive. So if you want to contribute and say something, just raise a virtual hand. I hope you know how to raise a virtual hand. And once you'll raise a virtual hand, I'll be able to see and I'll call out your name, unmute yourself and start speaking. So that's the rule. And the third thing is that feel free to speak your mind. No, don't think that whether it's right to say, wrong to say, whether it'll be politically correct or not. Don't think about any of those things. Whatever come to your mind, just speak out. Okay, so this is a session wherein we are trying to find out some of the solutions to our problems. Okay, so with this, let's just begin. Important thing is, first of all, let's identify what does a positive relationship look like. Okay, so what does it actually look like? When we say a positive relationship between the student and teacher, what does it look like? And that's a question I'm asking. Anyone can just speak out and say that a positive relationship looks like this, it looks like this, whatever comes to your mind. Raise a virtual hand and then I'll allow you to speak. What does it look like? I've given you a lot of pictures out here for you to think about. When you think about a positive relationship with your students, what does it mean to you? What does it really look like? Okay, Shrisha is raising the hand. Shrisha, speak.
Ma'am, it is the most best way where we maintain our interpersonal relations with the students in the class, ma'am.
Yeah, so you're maintaining interpersonal relations, and these interpersonal relations are the one which are very warm, which are very cordial. These are those relations which will enable the students to be talking to you. Okay, so therefore we can say that these are positive interpersonal relations. All right, Faneshwari, she is raising hand. Please unmute. I can't get your voice, Faneshwari. Is there I think there's some problem in the audio. Sorry, I'm not able to hear. What you can do is put it in your chat. Okay, whatever you have to say, put it in the chat box. In the meantime, Gauri wants to speak. Gauri.
Ma'am, it is like we bonding with each other, the right bonding.
Yes, correct. So the right kind of bonding which is there with the students. And you can see this in the images over here. you can see in this image the smile which is there on the student's face. It says something. And here the teacher is helping out the student, right? There is children are giving flowers to the teacher. See how the teacher is putting the hand on the child's hand. The teacher is listening to the child. All of these pictures are telling you something. These are the indicators of positive relationship. I have got one chat, so let me see. Smile on both teacher and student. Absolutely, Faneshwari. Yes, I completely agree with you. All right, so let's just begin. So why positive relationships? We need to analyze. If we are talking about positive relationships, let's put a question. And the question is, why is it important? What is it that it will do to our students? Then we will try and see how can we build it? And then we'll see what are the challenges which will not allow us to build it, right? So before I go ahead and tell you that why should we build positive relationships, what do you think are the outcomes of positive relationships with the students? If you develop positive relationship with the student, what's going to be the outcome? I want to hear someone new this time. Students should have faith. Yes. Maybe we can say that if there is positive relationship, the students will have faith in the teacher. Yes. It results in a happy child. Absolutely wonderful. Great. You can speak out also. There are 3 hands which are raised. So in the meantime, it's the same 3 hands. I'll give chance to Shrisha. Shrisha, if you have to say why positive relationships? Unmute yourself, Shrisha. Please unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah. To create a very productive classroom environment.
Excellent. Productive classroom environment. That's absolutely perfect. That you are, the class becomes very productive, and we'll see how it becomes productive. Great. That's one point. Any other point which comes to you? Unmute Faneshwari. Yeah.
Gauri Shri.
Okay, Gauri, please speak. Yes.
To foster academics, like
yes, absolutely, to foster academics. And one more point has come in the chat. Students will open up to the teacher. Perfect. Excellent. Yes. All right. I think there are more points which are there, and it's open for everybody. You can put it in the chat, and I'll be reading out whatever you're putting in the chat. And because we have got paucity of time, I cannot go on interacting like this. So let me just put the points which I have with me. So the first thing is, why positive relationships? Because if there are positive relationships, there is trust between the student and the teacher, right? And because of the positive relationships, you'll find that the student will be more confident, okay, and will feel the self-worth. The child will have a high self-esteem. Why? Because the teacher has positive relationship, which means that the teacher considers the child, loves the child. And so therefore, you'll find all of these things, that the student will trust, has self-confidence, and also will feel the self-worth. The second important thing is that there is a safe and a secure environment. Inside the class, you will find that the children will feel safe. If they have to say something, they don't have to think 20 times whether should I say or not, because the teacher has created an open environment, a very flexible environment wherein the students can speak. They feel the comfort with the teacher. Yeah, Shobha Rani says so. Okay. Then the next point here is there is mutual trust. As we said, mutual trust means the teacher has trust on the students and the students have trust on the teacher. The children are motivated. Obviously, when there is positive relationship, they would love to sit in your class and they will want to study your subject. They will be in fact interested because you are a likable teacher now for them. Right, so they'll be motivated to be there in your class. They will feel connected. This connect is very important. Remember, the only reason that I had asked your sir to be having this particular session was because there were those 2 incidents which happened in your school, and that was something which slightly disturbed me. And I thought that let's see if we can do something from our end. The connection is very important. How well are the children feeling connected with us? Do they feel connected? Okay. and can reach out to help. So if they're feeling helpless from inside, do they really think that there is somebody, there is some elder to whom I can go ahead and talk? Okay, so do they share that kind of a relation with you? So that's something which we need to see, that whether have we been able to create the connect with the students or not. Then it enhances better learning, because the children are open to you, you are open to the students, so therefore they will definitely be wanting to study your subject. I remember the teacher whom I liked was also the subject which I liked. It's so I like the subject because I like the teacher. So therefore, if they like you, they will have better interest in your subject, and there will be reduced fear of examination. There will be less behavioral issues. There will be better discipline. I don't know whether you'll agree with this or not, because you might think that, okay, there is a positive relationship, which means students can speak to us, and there is a possibility that the discipline may go for a toss and they will climb over our head. There is a possibility, you might think, that positive relationship means that children will now have all the say, and they might listen to us, they may not listen to us. I don't know how many of you really agree to this, but this could be a underlying question in your mind. If we do not have that stern and strict environment inside the class where we are kind of scaring away the children to keep quiet, if we don't do that, then they will climb over our head and discipline will be very difficult to maintain. Is that question there in your mind? And if that question is there in your mind, somewhere you still believe that discipline is something wherein children should be sitting quiet and you are speaking and they're listening to you. That's the perfect definition of discipline. But no, the right kind of discipline is wherein the children know how to behave, right? As a teacher inside the class, you can be very approachable to them, and simultaneously you could be an absolutely no nonsense teacher. Okay, which means that you have created certain rules inside your class and you have those rules established, and you say that, okay, so you can be assertive. You need not be arrogant, you need not be rude, you need not scold them. You can be a very assertive teacher, and with your assertive tone, you can establish that these are the things which are considered, which are allowed in the class, and these are the non-negotiables. And then simultaneously, you open yourself to students' different kind of questions. Okay, so here, if you are able to maintain this complete balance, you will find that the discipline will be better. Why discipline will be better? Because they like you. So they will not want to go against your wishes, right? So developing positive relationship, in fact, is going to, as somebody said, foster academics. It is also going to foster good behavior. Okay. Then there will be less dropout rates. There will be better attendance. You'll find more kids coming to the school because they like the environment of the school. Okay. So these are some of the positives which you can see. And I think these are very, very important things which you actually need inside the class. And therefore, the whys are actually good enough to consider developing positive relationships. So the big question here is how to do it. If you want to develop it, then what are the ways that you can develop positive relationships? All right. And so here I will leave it open to the teachers. Once again, we'll have a small 2 minutes interaction on how do you think you can develop positive relationships? If the teacher has loving, okay, if the teacher is loving towards the children, okay, how can you develop? If you can put it in the chat box, or if you want, you can speak out. How can you develop positive relationships? Those who have raised their hands, if you don't want to speak, you can lower down your hands as well. Paneshwari and Gauri, your hands are raised. I can allow you to speak, or else you can lower down your hands. I want new people to be talking. Yeah.
Teach with passion, ma'am.
Teach with passion. Yes. Yes.
Passion and enthusiasm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who spoke this? I don't know. Who's speaking this? Who gave this answer? Gauri.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, Gauri, perfect. If a teacher is teaching with enthusiasm and the teacher has passion towards teaching, if the teacher is pleasant, and is emanating out positive energy, then you will find that automatically the children will love to be there at a place. Consider yourself. Consider your principal, okay, because your your director, sir, is a friend, so I can take this liberty to speak in this manner. If your principal is sitting one day in a very, very bad mood and he's just wanting to scold everybody, the entire staff off, then would you like to go into that room? No. If you feel that, oh, the director is today in a very, very good mood and we've done good stuff, I know that he is going to be giving us a lot of good praises and things, and we are going to have a good chat, would you like to be there in that room? Yes, right. So there is no debating on yes or no in these two situations. So inside your classroom, if your children know that my teacher who's coming in the class has a very pleasant personality, the moment she comes in, she kind of breaks some kind of jokes and has humor also, laughs with us, and also teaches with passion. Whatever she teaches is something which we understand really well. Okay, so then don't you think your children will be wanting to be in your class? And yes, if you are teaching with passion, they would definitely you will have positive relationships and they will be studying better. Yes. So, but if you teach with passion and you have enthusiasm, you will be able to develop positive relationships. Open chat, somebody writes, smile, entertaining questions from the students, absolutely. And we should know about our students. Excellent, Shobha Rani. And this is first point of mine, and that is KYC. Know your child. It's very important that you do your KYC with all your students inside the class. At least as a class teacher, you should know your children really well, right? So knowing your children means that at least you should know that how this child is, what is the home environment, who are the people inside the home. So at least once in the entire session, at least in the starting of the session, within first 2 months, you should have a one-to-one meeting with the child and the parent. Try to do that. So every day you can fix up maybe 1 or 2 parents and have a one-to-one meeting with them. And that's going to be really rewarding because you know from where the child is coming in, right? You will be also able to identify which child needs help, which child does not need help. So it's important to do your KYC. Then very important thing, whether you are a teacher or you are a parent, in both the cases, you need to respond and not react. Whatever may be the situation, if you choose to scold your children, don't scold when you are angry from inside. Don't do that, because then it is reaction. And when it is reaction, your mind is not in your control. So whatever you say, whatever you speak is something which might go against you, right? So, and you will repent. Always remember, as a parent also we repent. Why did we react in this manner? And when you react, children will stop giving you information. Children will stop talking to you freely. Whether it is your own child at home, if you start reacting, the children will get the cues that, oh, okay, this is a complete no to be discussed. I should not be bringing this to my parents. So if there is some information of this kind, I should hide away. So remember, as a elder one in the house, when your children are around, you have to see that you are only responding. And your response could be anything. In your response, you may yell, there is no problem. But it's a response, it's not a reaction, right? So try to see that you are responding and you're not reacting. That's important. Then be non-judgmental and be responsive to their needs. When I'm saying non-judgmental, immediately as elders, we have a habit of saying that, no, this is not correct. Do it in this manner. So we pronounce our judgment immediately. Can you hold yourself from that? Instead of pronouncing your decision, let them evaluate. Say that, what do you think? Is it right or wrong? What do you think we should be doing in such a situation? So let them come out with some answers. Do you think we can do something else also? So out of all of these things, what do you think is the most probable thing which can be done? Right? So when you are making your children, when you're conversing with your children at that level, You may be a know-all. You may know the right solution to the problem, but don't provide it to your children. Let them come to the solution to the problem. Okay. So very important thing is that be absolutely non-judgmental. Don't judge. And again, this goes both as parent as well as a teacher in the class. Don't be judgmental. Don't go ahead and say, this is right, this is wrong. Straight away pronouncing your decision. Don't do that. Okay. Let them realize it. And to make them realize, you need to go in for a conversation with them with an open mind. You need to keep your mind open. Sometimes it's very important that we understand their point of view. Generally, we do not allow them that time to speak. Okay, so that's very important. Then the next thing is, don't create images on some other person's opinion. There is someone else who comes up and tells this child is like this child did in this manner. Don't create an opinion for that child. Okay, so that is another thing which you should be taking care of. These are absolute no's. And if you keep these as cardinal principles with you, you will be able to kind of deal and manage your children really well. Then another thing, if there is some child who has spoken to you in confidence, and if this child is coming and telling you about the problem, okay, don't go ahead and make that a staff room gossip. It should not be something wherein you are divulging the child's personal details. If the child is coming for some kind of a help, keep that in confidence. Okay, don't start discussing it out with 20 different people. The child might feel embarrassed if that happens. Okay, only talk to the concerned people regarding that. If you feel that the situation is slightly tricky and the situation is a little dangerous, at that time you speak, but you speak to the right people. Don't speak to 20 different people who will not do anything. They will just talk about it. Okay. Then, yes, as somebody said, be interesting, be innovative, be enthusiastic. These, if you are like this, you will anyways be liked by the students. The students like such teachers. Give responsibilities in an unbiased manner. Try to distribute as many responsibilities as possible, but give it to different students. Leadership responsibility, you may feel that this child may not be able to deal with it or may not be able to do, still give it. You never know when the child will respond to that, right? So try to give responsibility in an unbiased manner. Otherwise, it's the same child who keeps on getting multiple responsibilities and the others do not get it. Then have eye contact with all your students. While you are teaching, while you are otherwise going ahead and doing any kind of conversation with them, a proper eye contact is absolutely essential. Then sometimes a physical contact. It's like a tap at the back or stroking of the hair gently, gentle gestures, a high five. So that is something which is possible. I mean, the gentlemen have to be a little careful, but then for the lady teachers, you can always have an advantage of doing that. That is something that that also is something which builds positive relation. Then one-to-one interaction. In case if it's required, go ahead and do a one-to-one interaction with your students. Be approachable, accommodating, and you should stand by your students. If you're a class teacher and if you stand by your children, you will have 20 different occasions wherein you can actually blackmail them into some certain things to be done. So they will agree to you. So try to create that kind of an environment where you are approachable, you accommodate them, you stand by them. You have created that emotional connect with your students. So if all of these things are the ones which you're following, you will find your children that it's easy to develop positive relationships. Innovative strategies, involving your children into active learning strategies, engaging them, making them think, encouraging them and motivating them, giving them the right kind of praise. So all of these things are something which will create the bond between you and the student. Okay. So this is how we can go ahead and develop the positive relationships. Now you may say, all this sounds to be really good. I am convinced that yes, positive relationship should be there. And fine, I know that, okay, these can be done also. How it can be done, probably I may try, but there are challenges. There are, it's not easy to do because it's easy to say, but to develop it might be a little difficult. So you may say so, right? Now, what are the challenges which you might cite what do you think will come in the way of developing positive relationships? What will come in the way of developing positive relationships? What do you think is going to be the villain? Think and tell me. If there are no challenges, I'm very happy. Which means that it's the idea is sold out and you are absolutely onto it to go ahead and do. You think there are challenges? All right, I have a chat here. Let me see. Different questions. I didn't get this. Different cues. I didn't get this one. Panishwari has written it. Panishwari, you can unmute and speak. What do you want to say? Gauri. Yes, Gauri, you want to say something? What are the challenges?
Yeah, ma'am, I will tell you.
Yes, Gauri.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
maybe if we are not planned or organized what we want to teach, and I think even we have to keep the students who are, the learning abilities of the students in mind.
Right.
I think these are some of the challenges. And like if you are not having you can have a firm discipline, but the discipline should be fair, like impartial.
Yes, yes,
You
absolutely.
should be impartial.
Correct, correct. Great points, Gauri. You're saying that if I'm not prepared as a teacher, if I'm not prepared, I have not made my lesson plans, I don't have an active learning strategy, I'm not interesting enough in terms of teaching, then that's a barrier, which means I need to be a pretty good teacher to develop a positive relationship. I need to have great subject command, right? So these two are very, very important things. As a teacher, I need to be really good at it, right? So yeah, if I'm not good, then maybe that comes in my way. Any other challenge which you feel is there? Two more hands are raised. Yes, Veronica, new name has come. I would give chance to Veronica. Yes, Veronica.
Yes, when we usually when we be more positive, maintain a positive relationship with the child may become possessive sometimes. They want they want that kind of attention they need from us, and they always want to be possessive. This teacher should be mine. She always must talk to me. So in that case, some children may feel bad, and some children will feel so for this teacher. Then they'll feel that the teacher is showing partiality. Actually, we don't show, but they feel the possessive nature.
Correct. Absolutely, Veronica. Beautiful point that you have brought in. That yeah, because I have developed the positive relationship, and now this child is kind of used to my time and my attention, right? And so therefore wants the attention more and more. This may happen. And because you're giving attention to that child, so the others might feel the teacher is inattentive towards us. Absolutely. Practical problem. Yes. Okay. I'm just taking some of the things which are there in the chat. Students with different IQ, EQ. Yes. Same approach can be followed. Absolutely. And for that, there are differentiated instructions. So we as teachers, we should know how to use differentiated instructions in our class. That's a separate topic altogether, not getting into it. Students may take lenience and the whole class will be disturbed. Okay, now this was something which I think I have addressed earlier also. So because there is time limits, I need to concise this. The biggest thing which Veronica probably is pointing out is also about the time, because I don't really have time to listen to so many stories, and especially with younger kids, with middle school, all that if the teacher is very approachable, the students will have stories and stories to tell them, and they want the class teacher to listen to all of these stories, right? Now, as a teacher, you can go ahead and say, you have to be smart and you have to be tactful. You can say that, oh, lovely, I would love to hear all your stories. Fine. So we will keep some time towards the end for the stories, but we have to first go ahead and finish this task. We'll finish this and then come on to your stories. Okay. You may, as a class teacher, you will get a lot of opportunities wherein you have some free time with your children. So try to smartly play up with this. And then you have your things, tell them that these are the things which we are supposed to be doing. Let's finish this and then we can come on to that. So this way it is possible. Secondly, when you are when the child says that, okay, I need this attention and I want that the teacher should be asking from me and so on, try to use Lolly-Lotto sticks. Every student's name is there on the stick, and you have the whole box with all students' name on the stick, and you take out a stick, whosoever's name is there, that person gets the chance to answer. So you are an unbiased teacher, and you don't know. And you know what? Keep the same kind of sticks in your box, and you can take out the name, whatever may be the name written on the stick, you know whom you want to answer. That is also possible. So the child won't know whose stick is there. You can play smart over here, and you can choose the person whom you want to answer. So here the students will feel that, okay, the teacher is, I mean, there is no partiality which is happening in this. So there are a number of strategies which you can use for this. Again, that's a separate training altogether when it comes to active learning strategies. Fine. But let's keep ourselves to it. The first biggest challenge which comes to anything which we want to do is the time. We have got so much of syllabus to do. And so where is the time to develop these positive relationships? But the fact is, if you are teaching in a nice manner, in an interactive manner, you are developing relationships while teaching. You do not need extra time to develop these relationships. Okay. Then the child may be shy and the child may not speak out. That could be one of the problems. But inside the class, if you have created that environment, and if you are kind of appreciating the child and raising the self-esteem of the child, you will find eventually the child will lose that shyness. Okay, so you have to work upon such children, and especially try to work upon these children who are shy in the class. Then the teacher's own skill sets can be compromised. There is a possibility, I do not know how to tactfully deal with the children. Then go ahead and take specific classes about how to deal with children. And we need to develop ourselves. As teachers, we don't have to develop our students. The moment we develop ourselves, you'll find automatically those things passing on to the students. You don't have to make an effort for that, right? So your own emotional quotient will be very low. There is a possibility you're not able to handle your own problems. Then how is it that you will handle the problems of the students, right? So those are also some of the skill sets which needs to be, you need to gain. And so there are courses into counseling. So you can take some basic courses into counseling as a teacher, and you will feel that, yes, I'm empowered enough to go ahead in case if my children do need some kind of a basic counseling, or maybe there is a counselor in your school who can conduct some workshops on basic skills to counseling. And if you feel that there is a specific case, then you guide them, that particular child, to the counselor. Okay, so that's also very important as teachers to identify which student should be guided to the counselor. Then the mindset of the teacher, the attitude, the body language. By now, you know what kind of body language should be there, what should be my attitude, and what should be the mindset. We are going to discuss the mindset. Language barrier could be one of the problems. So try to speak to the child in the language which he or she understands. NEP has now given you the liberty of doing that. NEP talks about multiple languages and using the language, the local language which the child understands, right? So the language barrier will also not be a problem. Okay, so some of these challenges are there. There is a possibility that the parental non-cooperation is there, right? But if you develop a one-to-one relation with the parent by going ahead and having conversations, just free conversations, just talking and trying and understanding what the family environment is like, you will find most of the time the parental non-cooperation will be sorted out. Okay, but you have to take that extra effort. All right, so it's time for poll, and I am running a little late, but then it's okay. I'm just launching a poll, and I want you all to evaluate yourself on your own degree of positive relationships with your students. So just give me a second and I'll launch this poll. You have a minute. So rate your current degree of positive relationship with your students on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest. You can start answering. You can be honest about it. There are no names which are coming in here. Yeah, somebody is writing class strength also is a challenge. Yes, I agree. Class strength also can be, if there are many students, then there is a possibility. I have answer to that also. All right, quickly. There's 50% participation as of now. Make it quick, please. All right. I'm ending the poll in another 10 seconds. Please finish it. Okay, so I'm ending the poll now. Let's see what the results are. Sharing the results also. So 1% feel that it is low, and I appreciate that person for being so honest. And then there are 3 people who feel that it's at 3, which means it's in between. And there are 7 people who feel it's 4, which is marvelous, which is very good. Being at 4 is excellent. Okay. All right. But then nobody has really rated themselves to be at 5, which means that there is a scope of development. All right. Okay. So let me just close this and we move forward. All right, so now let's understand what is our mindset. When we are talking about mindset, this is a very important understanding. As teachers, we should know that when we are saying the word mindset, our mindset is actually made up of some beliefs, some ideas, some attitudes. Okay, and thinking about our mindset can help us, understand when whatever things we are doing, especially when we face a challenge, whether those are right or they are not correct. So when we face a challenge, then how is it that we are facing the challenge is completely defined on our mindset. What is our belief? What are our ideas? And what are the attitudes? So it's very important for us to analyze what kind of a mindset do we have. So there are 2 types of mindsets. One is a fixed mindset, and another is a growth mindset. So let's understand what's the difference between these 2 mindsets. In a fixed mindset, intelligence is something you have or you don't have. So anyone who has a fixed mindset will be of the belief that there are some people who are intelligent and some people who are not intelligent. Okay. So as a teacher, if I have a fixed mindset, I would say, oh, this child, absolutely, I don't know. I don't think this child will be able to ever do it. Okay. So when you have a fixed mindset, you have decided already this person will do, this person will not do. Okay. So, but the person who has a growth mindset will always feel that intelligence is something which can be developed. You can develop this intelligence. You are able to identify which way the person is intelligent. You know that there are Harvard Gardner's 9 different types of intelligences, right? You must have studied about multiple intelligence. So you would try and identify what is the dominant intelligence which is there, right? So instead of just shunning away somebody saying that this person is not intelligent, you would try and figure out in which way that person is intelligent. Then, so the person who has a fixed mindset will avoid challenges. Oh, this is something new. What is the big fun of taking ahead and doing something new if this particular thing is already giving us results? Why not to maintain a status quo, right? But if you see the growth mindset people, they will embrace the challenge. They will not find the life interesting if there's no challenge. So if there is a challenge available, they will quickly go and embrace that challenge. Oh, I'll do this. So these are the people who take initiative and then they go ahead and say that, okay, yes, I am going to be doing it. Then the fixed mindset people are the ones who give up the things easily. So if suppose you have tried it and it has not worked, oh, it does not work, I have tried it. So you give it up. But the people who have growth mindset, they keep going on when the things become difficult. Okay, so for them to get around a difficult thing is something which gives a kick. And that these are the people who would be continuously at it until and unless they have got their solution or got the answer. So they will not give it up. Then The people with fixed mindset, they will see effort as a waste of time. If I'm able to deliver the result, why should I put in an extra effort, right? But the people with growth mindset, they will see effort as the path to mastery. I will put in more effort and I will gain more expertise into things. So as teachers, we say that teachers are lifelong learners. So we need to keep on putting efforts into learning from wherever possible, right? So if you see effort as a path to mastery, you will find if you see that, you can say that, yes, you have a growth mindset. Then people with the fixed mindset, they will ignore feedback. If there is somebody who will come and say that, okay, this can be done in this manner, or you keep quiet, I know how to do it. Okay, I've been doing it for pretty long, so please don't teach me. I know how to do my stuff. Now, this is a person who is of fixed mindset, but the person of the growth mindset will learn from the feedback. In fact, not just learn from the feedback, this person will go and invite feedback. These are the people who will say that, okay, can you please come and sit in my class and give me the feedback on how am I teaching? What are the things which I can improve in my teaching? These are the teachers who open themselves to the students and say, okay, now that I've been teaching for 6 months, I want you to tell me what are the 2 things which I do really well inside the class and what are the 2 things I need to improve upon. So when you open yourself to this kind of a feedback, you are trying to gain the opportunity to learn, right? So that's the important thing about the growth mindset. Then the fixed mindset will feel threatened by the success of others. If you see somebody else getting successful, you'll feel jealous, you will feel threatened, you'll not feel good about it, right? But if there are growth mindset people, they take inspiration from that. Oh, if that person can do it, I can also do it. Let me try. So you take inspiration. You might walk up to that person, congratulate and appreciate that person and say that, how did you do it? Let me understand from you. That's the example of a growth mindset. All right. And when do these people feel smart? They'll feel smart. Fixed mindset will feel smart if they're able to do things in a perfect order. And if they're able to do it better than others, if they're able to do it quickly than others. So they're always comparing themselves with others. And if they're able to do better than others, they'll feel happier. They'll feel smart. But the growth mindset people will feel smart only when they are trying something challenging. Only when they've been trying something for long and that has given them real trouble and they have been able to do something, then they will feel smart. They don't compare themselves with the others. They compare themselves with themselves and try to make themselves better all the time. Now, why is it important that we are even discussing the fixed and the growth mindset? The reason we are discussing it is because as teachers, we need to first of all possess growth mindset ourselves. If we have growth mindset, we will be able to induce the same growth mindset in our students. And the children who have growth mindset, they will be able to... Hello? Veronica, please mute yourself. I think you're not... Just a second. Somebody is unmuted. So students who have got a growth mindset, they will be able to embrace lifelong learning. Let me just see how many of you are there actually with me, or I have lost. Are you people there with me? If you're there with me, just raise a virtual hand. I don't know to whom am I speaking. Are you there? Yeah, all right. I can see 5 people who have raised their hands. 6. All right. Okay. Okay, great. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being there. Lovely. All right. So I'm just going back. And so people with the growth mindset, they embrace lifelong learning. They believe that intelligence is something which can be improved. And if you can do that to your students, that's the best thing as teachers you can do and achieve. Okay, just a second. Then they will put in more effort into learning. They will believe that effort is something which leads to mastery. They will believe that if there are failures, these are just temporary setbacks. And that as a teacher, you have to tell to them, does not matter. If there is a failure, this is a temporary thing. You have to work around it and you will become better, right? So that's something which you have, that hope is something which you have to keep instilling in your students. They will view feedback as a source of information and also as an opportunity to learn. So feedback is something which they will take in a very positive manner. They will willingly embrace challenges if there are there. They'll view others' success as a source of inspiration, not as something to feel jealous or threatened about, right? So you will, if you are of growth mindset, you will be able to induce the similar growth mindset in your students, and you will find that you have actually made lifelong learners. Okay, this may be idealistic to say, but it is not very difficult to practice. And you don't have to practice it with your students. You first have to practice it with yourself. Analyze yourself and see whether you possess a fixed mindset or you possess a growth mindset. That's important. Okay. All right. The last thing which I want to discuss with you is about what is the ideal way of managing a behavior, and especially an inappropriate behavior. How should you be managing it with your students? And the idea here is 5:1 gets the job done. If I had time, I would have allowed you to speak about, again, there is somebody who is unmuted. Who's there who's getting unmuted all the time? All right. So, so if I had time, I would have actually allowed you to say about what do you think is 5:1. But now, because I don't have enough time, I'll just directly show you a video. Okay, watch this video and try and understand how to manage behavior. Give me a second and I'll share the video with you. All right, I hope you can see the video, and I'm starting off the video now.
Well, the simple solution to this is 5:1 gets the job done. So what is 5:1? 5:1 is the ratio of positive to negative interactions. What are positive interactions? Positive interactions are all those interactions which the teacher does inside the class with the students which makes them feel good. Example, smiling, nodding, making proper eye contact, approving the child's ideas, highlighting a positive behavior, maintaining an attitude of respect and support. So what are negative interactions? Negative interactions are basically the absence of all the positive interactions. Example, ignoring, sometimes using sarcastic remarks, not paying attention, disapproving the ideas bluntly, highlighting a negative behavior, reprimanding in public. All of these are counted under negative interactions. Both of these interactions are needed at times, but what is important for us to understand is what is the ratio. The ratio of this should always be maintained as 5:1. 5 positive interactions to 1 negative interaction. You would notice this, that most of the time it is some children only who are visiting the principal's office repeatedly and for different kind of problems. Say for example, coming late to the school, not completing the assignment, always found outside the class, getting indulged into physical fights, distracting inside the class, and so on. So you would find that why is it that it is the same children who are behaving in so many different distractive behaviors? It's because these children are getting negative interactions from all the corners, from everybody. So they have no motivation to improve upon their behavior. So next time when you want that the child should improve upon one such behavior of his, you have to first make 5 positive interactions with that child and then highlight upon that one thing which you want the child to improve upon. Then you will find that the magic begins. Research says that it takes 28 times to unlearn an old behavior and learn a new one. So we definitely have to keep that patience. So let's start having more positive interactions with our students. Let's maintain the ratio as 5:1 and you will see that the job is done.
All right. Going back to the PPT now. All right. So I believe you have got the point. What do we really mean by 5:1? So try and see whether you are maintaining that ratio, 5 positive interaction, and then you have to go in for 1 negative interaction. If you do not maintain this ratio, things will not happen. And this is something which works in all the organizations. It works. This is a management principle, in fact. Okay. So now try to maintain this ratio and probably you'll be able to get the answers to your problem. Okay. And let's move on. I've already shown you this video, and the research on praise says that if we are using the praise in the right amount, never do unreasonable praise. Don't praise somebody for things which are not genuine. Don't use general praise for the entire class. Oh, you people are so lovely. You are so wonderful. That doesn't work so much, right? So try to use genuine praise. Small little things which you find that the children are doing good, highlight those. Those work really well. So it has been shown that the praise if you're using praise inside the class, it increases the students' correct responses. It increases the work productivity. It increases more accuracy. The academic performance goes high. The on-task behavior becomes better. The attention becomes more. Children become more compliant. There are more positive comments about themselves. They start doing positive self-talk. Okay. And when they are doing a lot of things together, there is a lot of good cooperation between them. Right. So if you are using the right praise inside the class in the right manner, you will find that things will happen to your benefit. Now, this was an activity which I had thought that I'm going to be doing with you. But now I'll just explain this activity with you. Or maybe I can ask Gauri, the people who have been very active today, Gauri, Faneshwari, Veronica, and I'm missing out on one name. One more person was there who was very active. So maybe I can ask Faneshwari, first of all, to choose somebody from the staff member, those who are present right now, and try and say something that this is a little problematic when people are unmuting themselves. Okay. I have muted all, and only Faneshwari, please unmute yourself. Okay, you have to choose one member who's present here, and you have to go ahead and say that by taking the name and say, you are terrific. And then you have to tell the reason. Why do you feel that person is terrific? Faneshwari, go on quickly. Are you there? Or if she is not there, I'll give this chance to Gauri. Gauri, to whom will you choose and say that you are terrific and give the reason to that person? Anyone from the staff member? Yes.
Ma'am, you have asked me a very difficult question.
Why is it difficult? Is it difficult to praise
No,
people?
ma'am, all of my colleagues are terrific. So you are asking me to name one.
Yes,
I would go with our academic director, sir, ma'am. He's terrific.
Right. You're being politically smart, huh?
I have a lot to learn from him.
Okay.
So I feel he's terrific.
Okay. He's terrific because probably every day you learn something new. from this person. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So the ball toss activity goes in this manner. So now the ball actually goes to director sir, and director sir will choose one person and will throw the ball to that person and say, you are terrific because, okay. I don't know whether your director sir is here or not right now.
No, ma'am, he's unable to log in. Actually, he's unable to log in. That's what he has given the WhatsApp message.
Okay, is that so?
Don't know the reason behind it. He's unable to log in.
Anyway, so the activity goes in this manner, that you have your class and your children are there, and you will give opportunity to all the students to, you know, throw the ball to somebody and say, you are terrific because of this reason. That person throws it to someone else, you are terrific because of this reason. And you will find that there is a lot of positive energy which goes in. Children will hear praise about themselves. The connection with that person will develop. There'll be bonding inside. And like this, there are a number of different activities which you can do inside your class. One of the activities is that have a paper at the back of each child, just pin it up and ask these children to go around. And everybody has to write something good about that person on that particular paper, right? So they will just go around and everybody is going to be writing at the back. And finally, once it is done, they will take out the paper and they'll read about themselves. Believe me, this is a paper they will never destroy. They will keep it with them, because it's all about good things about oneself. So when you want to promote positive behavior inside the class, bonding between the students, you can go ahead and write something good about that child. All of this is something which will build positive relationships. And remember, children then will feel that, yes, I have somebody whom I can go and talk. So in case there are problems, in case they have personal problems, any kind of problems with the friends or anything, they will see their teachers as somebody to whom they can go out and speak out their problems. That's one of the most important things, wherein students start looking up to you as the people who can provide some solutions to their issues. Okay, so with this, I would like to end today's session, and there is a small poll. I'm going to be launching this poll. 1 minute for this, and then we will end the session. Okay. Let me stop sharing. Yes. So let me just go in for another poll, and this is one question, and I'm launching this. All right. I've started the poll. Please start answering. The question is, do you think it is easy to develop positive relationship with students? And you can have multiple answers. It's not necessary that you choose just one answer in this. You can choose multiple answers.
Ma'am, the question is not seen, ma'am, on the screen.
On your screen, I have already launched the poll. Okay. Yeah, I can see somebody has already answered. Yes, yes. You can answer it now. Yeah. All right. Another 10 seconds. You can choose more options also if you want. Okay, I'm ending the poll now, and I'm sharing the results. The results are 25% feel yes, I do it naturally. 50% feel yes, but it will need conscious efforts. 17% feel it is difficult as the current environment is not suitable. And 50% feel I am extremely motivated to rework on my relationship with students. That's absolutely fabulous. If you are motivated to rework your relationship with your students, I think nothing better than this. So I would like to thank all of you. And there is a small link which I will share with Gauri and Shrisha rather, for feedback. Okay, so there is a feedback form. I will share a link with you. You can just put your feedback in that. Okay, so that's something which is post session you can do. Thank you so much for being a very lovely audience over here. I could not provide, I know that I could not do justice with you in terms of giving you more time to speak. We were limited with time, but I hope that you have some takeaways from today's
Yeah,
session.
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
ma'am.
much from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am. Just a minute, ma'am. Ma'am, Sirisha, ma'am, can I continue?
Yes, ma'am. I too wanted to tell the same thing. Please
Yeah, ma'am.
continue.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. It is essential to keep learning and evolving as long as you are teaching. So let's keep learning. Yes, to the distinguished speaker of the day and our academic director, Jebabu sir, and to all my dear colleagues. Good evening. I, Gauri Shri from the Department of English, I feel immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks. Ma'am, it was really an enlightening session, and you, with your vast experience over pedagogical issues, have really presented it in a very great manner. Ma'am, uh, I extend my sincere gratitude and thanks for today's session, as it was really enriching and it gave deep insight into the topic and revealed some interesting facts. Ma'am, I really liked 2 or 3 points which I would like to again recollect. The first one was the acronym KYC, Know Your Child. I think I need to implement into my class. And the next one I liked is 5:1, get the job done, the management principles. Definitely this one. And to be frank, let me be very frank, I have heard about these two words, fixed mindset and growth mindset. I really like that explanation, the differentiation of it. Ma'am, I am pretty sure the precious knowledge you have given us will definitely help us in building a positive relationship with our students. And we all thank you for spending your precious time in sharing your views and opinions on this topic of building positive relationship with students. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this enriching session.
Thank you so much, Gauri. And you know, it is so heartening to see that you've been able to highlight certain points, and all of the 3 points that you have highlighted are very important ones. So thank you for being a very alert and an attentive participant.
Thank
So
you.
great, Gauri. It was lovely
Thank
to
you,
have
ma'am.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, I have done the recording of this session and I will share the recording as well. So the other teachers who have not been able to see, they can go ahead and see this. I'll share it by the late evening today. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so with everybody's permission, thank you everyone, and
Thank you, ma'am.
all the best to all of you. I am always there in any case, because your director sir is a friend of mine, and anything which I can do for your school will be my pleasure. So always go ahead and you can ask me for any kind of thing. I will always be available for you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye everyone. Bye. I'm ending the session now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks.
ma'am.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.